How to connect to your goals on a deeper level. So this is called finding your why. And I think it will really be a game changer for you guys as far as setting and adhering to your goals. Um, Along the journey, there's difficult times and setbacks and pitfalls and things that happen and things that change. So really, I think finding your why is a game changer, and I want to take this time to explain why and take you through this process. So you set a goal for something within health and fitness, something that you want to do, and you want to work towards accomplishing this goal. Um, I found that doing this one thing really is a game changer when it comes to reaching your health and fitness goals. So finding your why you're doing something. It sounds simple enough, I know, but you aren't just setting a goal just to get there, right? You're doing this for a deeper reason. For a long time, I didn't really consciously think about why I wanted to reach a certain goal with my health and fitness and why I wanted to do something. Um, what I found through this process was is that I got more of a connection with the outcome of my goal when I devoted more conscious thought to it. Um, it's kind of funny. We ask this question a lot of others, uh, but we never really connect with it ourselves within our goals as much, not consciously anyway. I think subconsciously we really do think about these things a lot, and that's why we set certain goals or have certain standards or ideals. But we tend to ask this a lot. I can hear myself saying and hear other people saying, uh, why would someone ever want to do that? Right? Something crazy looks like to us, but there's an underlying reason why that person is doing that. When we ask ourselves these things, we are content to set out towards objectives without really consciously organizing our thoughts towards what we get out of achieving that goal. Um, well, maybe here you can start to understand kind of a little more about the psychology, a little more about why others do things we think are crazy, and find a little bit more about how you can be more focused, and connected with your health and nutrition goals. I'll share with you this little story about my fitness journey. So, when I first started training and working out, my first goal was actually to squat. It's kind of funny to say it now, but actually to squat 500 pounds. Um, that's quite the accomplishment. It's very ambitious, especially for somebody who's just starting out in fitness. It's kind of naive. I told myself that I'm not going to stop. I even told my buddy, like, I'm committed to this. Like, he was a weightlifter. He knew what he was doing, and I told him, and he looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, "Do you realize what it takes to do that?" But I didn't let that stop me at the time. Um, I can't tell you how hard I worked. Years and years of training, countless amount of time focused on this goal, trying to get there. Um, but I never accomplished it. Um, it's easy to see how that can be kind of defeating, not accomplishing your goal. Um, but also along the way, I had little defeats in there too, difficult times that were tough. And, I think that if I consciously had put more thought towards these kind of things, I probably wouldn't have felt as defeated. I would have been able to make better goals as well. Um, those constant little defeats like that, it can become kind of a vicious cycle that repeats over and over again. It kind of gets you down, and then you get motivated, then you go back towards your goal, but then you fall off again. It can almost feel like you're falling off the wagon, even though you're not. Um, so kind of like kind of like even when you feel like a yo-yo, like you feel like you're going towards it, and then kind of not going towards it. But I think if you connect deeper with your why, why you want to actually do it, um, there's a lot of value in that to not allowing you to feel that way all the time. So there were countless times throughout that where I was sidelined by injury or setbacks of training I couldn't overcome, and it was difficult to go through. It made the journey tougher than it had to be, and I wish I would have been able to connect with why I really wanted it on a deeper level, because I think um, I would have felt better about the goal, and felt better about the process. What I found through this process, I began to realize that squatting 500 pounds really wasn't the reason I wanted to squat 500 pounds. Um, it was a proxy for what I truly wanted. My real why wasn't that I wanted to look good or, have big muscles, anything like that. Um, and I would kind of console myself, well, yeah, but you look really good and your muscles are good. So, why are you worrying about that? But I would still go back to that goal. Like I had to do it. And um, in reality, after a long time going through this, I kind of started to think more about why I wanted to do something like that, why I wanted to be in the gym training that hard. And it was actually to feel more confident. That was my first real why, was to be more confident. Um, it taught me a lot about the approach I use now when it comes to helping people achieve their goals in health and fitness. I've seen it help many people accomplish they want with their health, with with their goals. And there's a reason this first video that I'm sending you guys is about this, about connecting with your why. If you connect with your true why early on, you really avoid some of the pitfalls that I had along my journey, and you're better able to navigate the difficulties that come along with the process. Knowing your why and thinking about it will help you to adhere more to the behavior you're trying to adhere to, without letting the failures and setbacks that are part of doing something difficult kind of define you or um, define you in that moment in a way. Uh, the best part about this, I think, is that it's a really a change in mindset. It changes your mindset. Changes the game you're playing from a finite game to an infinite game. And I think that's really important. The finite game would be, me hitting that 500 pounds. I got there, fine, I got there, we're done, right? Well, now what do you do, right? Or if you don't get there, now what do you do, right? I went through that a lot. It changed from a finite game to an infinite game. And the infinite game is more of an idea that can change, right? It's a focus for you for your life. It's sustainable. It's a lifestyle, right? And so there can be targets in there. There can be ideals in there. I think those are super important. Don't get me wrong there. But really, it's the way I describe it is it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's kind of the infinite game, right? And so that there's a couple things that go along with that. What's the worthy ideal, right? There are targets, there are goals, there are good things to do. Um, the progressive realization means though that it can change. It can change along the way, right? You can as you get more knowledge and you understand more, that should change, right? So it means you can start now, even though you don't know everything, right? Even though you don't, you might be inexperienced, you haven't realized exactly where this road's going to take you. You know, it's going to take you somewhere better, right? You're going to feel better. You're going to feel like more like your why. You also don't have to wait till conditions are right to begin work on your why. You can get off someday island now. I might have said that to you before. Um, so with mine, I want to feel more confident, right? I'm going to feel more confident when I can take more agency with my life and do the thing I said I was going to do to get closer to my goal in the gym, right? With my nutrition. Um, you don't have to wait till you're motivated, right? Motivation is something that is connected to all sorts of factors that are uncontrollable. Motivation comes and goes. If only do something when you're motivated, uh, it's not gonna happen that often, right? We're kind of if we it kind of takes the power away from achieving your goal or achieving your why from you and gives it to outside factors that could be affecting your motivation. We don't want to give our power or agency away to accomplish anything. We want to have, you know, full control over that. Your why kind of disconnects you from the finite game of your target and allows you the power to work towards what you want. Um, and it's a game changer, right? It connects you to your goals on a much, much deeper level. So really, how do you do it? How do you connect deeper with your why? Um, or how do you connect deeper with your goals, right? It's finding your why. So how do you do it? You set a goal and you ask yourself why, right? And you really consciously take the time to think about it. Over and over, you ask yourself that until you really can't answer anything else, right? There's nothing else left. So for me, it kind of got down to confidence at that time, right? Other things and other ways to ask yourself. Sometimes saying why is a difficult question to answer. Why is a very difficult question to answer for us. So we want to make it easier. And other things to ask yourselves are what and how questions. Like, yeah, but what does that get you, right? Um, okay, now what does that get you? Or how does that help, right? So for me, if mine was confidence, if I wanted to go deeper, right, I would say, yeah, but what does that get you, right? What do you get out of that? So Um, now my why is no longer confidence, right? It's more my why is making me a better husband and father and being a good example for my kids. That's the one I think about a lot, actually, when it comes to my health and fitness goals. So thank you for listening, and I hope you all got something great out of this, and keep going. Good job, guys.